morning students, and today we will discuss another colligative property, and it is osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure. So before discussing the topic osmotic pressure, we will discuss one term. It is osmosis. So what is osmosis? The osmosis is a phenomena which involves migration of solvent particles from less concentrated solution to more concentrated solution through a semi-permeable membrane. So, osmosis process involves migration of what? Solvent particles from less concentrated solution to more concentrated solution through this semi-permeable membrane is called osmosis. Now, what is semi-permeable membrane? The membrane which allows the passage of only solvent particle through it, not allows the solute. So that membrane which allows only the passage of solvent particles through itself, that one is semi-permeable membrane. Some examples of artificial semi-permeable membranes are, it is copper ferrocyanide. See, this one is not the IUPAC name, then the name is copper ferrocyanide. What another is, it is calcium phosphate. So, etc. There are other also. So, these are the commonly used artificial semi-permeable membranes. So, what are semi-permeable membranes? Which allows the passage of the solvent particle only through itself. It does not allow the passage of the solute. That one is called semi-permeable membrane. And osmosis is the phenomena in which the solvent particles move from less concentrated solution to the more concentrated solution through this semi-permeable membrane. Thereafter, we will discuss the term, and it is osmotic pressure. Now, what is osmotic pressure? We are taking our two containers. In one container we are filling less concentrated solution, in other one it is more concentrated solution, and these two containers are fitted or connected together, and here in between them there is a semi-permeable membrane. Okay? Here. So up to certain height, content is filled here. Now, as the apparatus will set up, the solvent particles starts moving from less concentrated solution to the more concentrated solution. Is it clear? So means osmosis process will come into the existence. See, on this side, the atmospheric pressure is functioning, while this side also there is the only and only atmospheric pressure is in function. Now, what will happen as the solvent particle moves from less concentrated to the more concentrated? The level of the solution starts raising in this chamber, while the level of solution in this chamber, which contains less concentrated solution, starts decreasing. Okay. Now, using frictionless piston will exert the pressure over this solution chamber, more concentrated solution chamber, and we will exert only that much of pressure so that this movement of the solvent particle from dilute solution to the concentrated solution gets ceased. Means the process of osmosis gets checked. So the minimum external pressure which must be exerted over solution sufficient to check this osmosis, that one is called osmotic pressure. So what should be the definition? So you can define that the minimum external pressure the minimum external pressure exerted over solution which is required to prevent the passage of solvent particles from less concentrated solution to more concentrated solution through semi-permeable membrane is called osmotic pressure. Means you can say the minimum external pressure which must be applied over this solution which is sufficient to check the osmosis. So जो osmosis process को चेक करने के लिए minimum external pressure solution के ऊपर लगाया जाता है, that one is called osmotic pressure. Remember, this one is denoted by pi. So osmotic pressure term is denoted by pi. Okay? And this one experimentally it is measured experimentally and by Berkeley Hartley's method. The osmotic pressure is measured by Bernoulli-Hartley's method. Is it clear? समझ में आ गया? Now after that there is Van 't Hoff. Van 't Hoff pointed out that the dilute solution of non-electrolytic solute means non-electrolytic means which does not ionizes, which does not splits into its ions in solution. So Van 't Hoff points out that if the solution is of non-electrolyte, so non-electrolytic solution, dilute non-electrolytic solutions, this behaves like a gas. This behaves like a ideal gas. Why? Because this, according to Van 't Hoff theory, that the osmotic pressure is exerted by the bombardment of the solute particles over the semi-permeable membrane. Similarly, as you know, the gaseous particles exerts pressure due to its collision over the inner wall of the container. Same way, osmotic pressure is also exerted by the bombardment of solute particles over semi-permeable membrane. So Van 't Hoff pointed out, it has pointed out that the dilute solution of non-electrolyte, it behaves like ideal gas. So if the solution, dilute solution which contains non-electrolytic solute, it behaves like ideal gas, so it was considered that the gases laws may also be applicable over dilute solutions. And as you know, the combined gas equation is PV equals to nRT. This is a combined gas equation for ideal gas. That means this equation can also be applied over the dilute solution of non-electrolyte. So this equation can also be written as P equals to N over V RT. Here N is number of moles. Is it clear? If for dilute solution, so this N will denote number of moles of solute, and the V is the volume of solution in liter. So number of moles per unit volume is called what? Molarity means concentration. So it means this expression can be written as N over V can be written as C. C stands for concentration, RT. And because we are applying this gas equation over the solution, so in solution this one can be replaced by the pi, osmotic pressure. That means osmotic pressure can be calculated using this formula pi equals to C RT. Is it clear? As you know, here it means pi equals to C means number of mole of the solute dissolved in per unit volume. here, N over V into RT. As the N is the number of mole of solute, and number of moles can be calculated as mass over molecular mass. The number of moles of solute is equal to mass of solute over molecular mass of solute. So we can replace this N by W over N. So the expression will become W. Here it is mass of solute into RT over M. This is molecular mass of solute into V, and this V is volume of solution. It is in liter. So using this expression, we can determine the molecular mass of solute. Is it clear? One very important thing you must remember, you must keep in mind that here we are discussing so many colligative properties like relative lowering in vapor pressure, elevation in boiling point, depression in freezing point, osmotic pressure. So out of these, this osmotic pressure is most reliable method for determining the molecular masses of biomolecules like proteins, like carbohydrates, etc. Means biomolecules के molecular mass determination के लिए osmotic pressure colligative property जो है ये best method है. This one is the best method. Osmotic pressure is the best method for determining the molecular masses of biomolecules. Why? This is because the biomolecules are not stable at high temperature. They are temperature sensitive. While you can determine the osmotic pressure at ordinary temperature also. That's why osmotic pressure is the most reliable, or you can say the best method for determining the molecular mass of biomolecules. Is it clear? Now we'll solve one or two numericals based over it. But before solving the numericals, one term I would like to discuss with you. It is isotonic solution. See, isotonic solutions. See, what are isotonic solutions? So isotonic solutions are the two solutions having same osmotic pressure. One is solution 1 and another one is solution 2. There are two solutions, and the osmotic pressure of solution 1 is pi 1, while the osmotic pressure of solution 2 is pi 2. And in case the osmotic pressure of two solutions are same, we will say that these two solutions are isotonic. So what are isotonic solutions? Solutions having same osmotic pressure. Okay? Remember, the isotonic solutions also have the same concentration, and in isotonic solution there is no net movement of the solvent particle through one side to the other side through semi-permeable membrane. Is it clear? In isotonic solutions, there is no net movement of the solvent particles through semi-permeable membrane from one side to the other side. Is it clear? Now, the numerical is a 5% solution of cane sugar, molecular weight, it is given 342, is isotonic. It is isotonic with 0.877% solution of urea. Okay. Find the molecular weight of urea. See, here in the question, there are two solutions are given. One is 5% solution of cane sugar, and another one is 0.877% solution of urea. What's the meaning of the 5% solution of cane sugar? It means 5 gram of cane sugar is dissolved in 100 ml of solution, or you can say that in 0.1 liter of solution. Similarly, 0.877% solution of urea means 0.877 gram of urea is dissolved in 100 ml, or you can say 0.1 liter of solution. Is it clear? Okay. Urea. Find the molecular weight. Molecular weight of cane sugar is given to you. It is 342 unit, while we have to determine the molecular weight of urea is to calculate. We know that the pi osmotic pressure is equal to N over V. Here V is in liter RT. This is the formula. Here N is the number of moles. It can be, this N can be replaced by W over M, yani mass over molecular mass. So this expression can be written as pi equals to W over M into V. It is in liter into RT. Is it clear? Now for this, therefore pi cane sugar will be equal to, so W is how much? 5 into RT over M. For cane sugar, molecular mass is 342 into volume. In liter, it is how much? 0.1. This is your equation number 1. And pi urea is W. W is how much? 0.877 into RT over molecular mass is to calculate into volume. Here it is also 0.1. This is your equation number 2. Now we have to determine the molecular mass. So for the purpose, we'll equate the equation 1 and 2. So from equation 1 and equation 2, just equate them. It is 5 into RT over 342 into 0.1, that will be equal to the 0.877 into RT over M into 0.1. These two osmotic pressures are same because the two solutions are isotonic, and therefore M will be equal to, it will be equal to 342 into 0.1 into 0.877 into RT over 5 into RT into 0.1. Now you can calculate the molecular mass will come approximately equal to 60. This is your answer.